Good morning, everyone. A blessed Sunday to you. And you have found yourself in between the before and the after. This is the Interlude, and we're playing Jenga this morning. Why not? We're in the sanctuary playing Jenga.
Why not?
We got Pastor Jeff with us this morning. Good morning, Pastor
Good to
Jeff.
see you, Chris.
How are you this morning?
Nice tie.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Try to look nice for church.
That's right.
So, a message from founding pastor, Pastor Garman this morning, and his kid talk was Jenga.
Yeah, so, I don't want to spill it because you should be watching it if you haven't already at 8 o'clock. But, the importance of building blocks in our faith and the essentials of our faith. And all through this season of our 50th anniversary, the pastors are preaching on one of our scriptures from 1 Peter about being the cornerstone, the foundation, which, of course, is Jesus Christ.
It certainly is. No, we had Pastor Carroll several weeks ago who actually described the cornerstone back in the day. Any more you want to add to that? Because I thought it was quite a profound thing of like literally, we don't really speak in terms of cornerstones and building blocks in our lives because we're kind of more.
Well, we're in kind of the modern times where everything's personality driven, but one of the things that for 50 years we've been consistent here is that Jesus Christ is our cornerstone. He's larger than any one ministry, any one person, any one pastor, and that's our foundation. The cornerstone is essential to our life together.
Well, here, this cornerstone was as he was saying, 30 years ago, and I like the message that has been carried from him up through you and the rest of the leadership here is that La Casa de Cristo is a launching pad for ministry.
Right.
It is not a place where we just have this club and we're enjoying, as he said, enjoying the stained glass windows. Can you tell us? We have so much going on here. How does this campus facilitate that launch pad?
Well, if you come by here, it's busy every day of the week. Now, maybe in the middle of July, not quite as busy when it's 120 out, but still
You'd
active.
be surprised.
Yeah, BBX during the summer,
Yeah.
lots of other things going on. So, that's the whole point is our campus is to be here to be used. St. Augustine once said years ago that the church is not a museum for saints, it's a hospital for sinners. And that's kind of what we want to do here is reaching out to those who are broken, including ourselves. We're all broken, but especially those that may be hungry, homeless, or have some kind of special need.
And if you look in the bulletin that's handed out, there's a little thing called the week at a glance, and it just gives us. And it's a.
Right.
I watched the ladies up front, and they have to kind of sort through to see what they can put on there because there's so much going on, and it's not a testament to what is that we just got so much going on, but there are so many people here that are living Matthew 28 to go out and make disciples for Jesus. So. How do you think that this building and this campus, from the early beginnings till now, really facilitates that?
Well, I think, it all depends. I mean, the early church was called ecclesia in Greek, which means movement. So we've always maintained, and we kind of learned that lesson during the pandemic, the church is not a building, it is the people. And so wherever we gather as God's people, that's where the church is. So whether it's here on campus or not, but it helps to have a beautiful campus and a place where people can gather and share in classes or Bible studies or whatever. And it's kind of that balance of, nourishing your body, but also exercising. So we're called to nourish ourselves here, to love, those that don't know Jesus and grow those who do. So we're called to grow our own faith, but also to love those that may not know the Lord.
So we're in our 50th year, and we are we're building up to this day, which happens to be Easter, April 20th.
Right.
This year is going to be the 50 years Easter Sunday. I find that just so heartwarming. It just gives me this special feeling.
Awesome.
It really is.
Yeah, and of course our big celebration date will be the Sunday after Easter, the 27th. So that is a date you want to mark on your calendar and make sure you come, even if you live out of state or you're watching us from another part of the country. So we'd love to have you here for that special celebration. But certainly the fact that it falls on Easter is so central to our life together and very exciting. And Chris, we're going to have Pastor Davis here at the end of February, Pastor Geske in early March. We're going to have the special event in April, going to have some special things going on in the fall. Lots going on. We're not just celebrating this one day, one time. We're celebrating all year.
And it's been, as we've discussed all along, this is we do want to look back and say, it's been a great 50 years, but that's just not it. It is literally a springboard for the next 50 years and how we can spread this good news to our community and to people online.
Yeah, and that's why we call it the next 50, because we just didn't want it to be a look back. The past is important, helps us to see where we have been, what our foundations are, but we have to keep moving forward as well.
So let's get to the party talk. So the week after, so on April 27th, this campus is going to be transformed into to basically a big fellowship hall outdoors.
Yep.
Tell us all about it.
Well, and I don't want to spill the tea too
Okay,
much.
okay.
There are some surprises that
We'll
day,
keep it closed.
but we have food, and it's going to be great food.
Always got to serve food.
Yeah, food. We're going to probably have a little parade. You're going to see some things. You're going to have some special presentation, all generations, and it's going to be just a special day. So again, I don't want to get too specific, but it's going to be a fun day, and really mark those hours out. We're going to have some tents outside in case it's warm. We're going to have a special time to share together.
That's going to be awesome. We asked the congregation and the people watching online and people in the community to fill out the survey back in last year. Is the 27th? Are we gonna really go for the gusto on this and kind of expel out what?
Yeah, you're going to be hearing some more this spring about what came out of that survey, and from that, then the process was everyone gave their input in the survey. The leaders of the congregation, which includes the elected board of trustees and the pastors, are now filtering through all that and then coming up with some concrete goals for the next few years as we go forward into the future and what that means for the church. And you're going to be seeing some fun things coming up in the fall that's going to relate to that as well.
And we want to thank you honestly for filling, talking with our experts that helped us with this survey. Getting a response that we did was something that usually doesn't happen. So we do want to thank all of those that filled out the survey, because it is a monumentous task sifting through all the information, because it wasn't just a multiple choice question. We wanted to actually hear from you and hear what your thoughts were, and so we weren't like just checking off boxes. We wanted to hear everything. So it's a lot to sift through, and we're going through that now.
Yeah. So it's great, and again, we're following up on that. It's not just a one and done, but your input was important. And as Chris pointed out, thank you, because I think close to half of you filled that out. In most surveys, you're lucky to get 15 to 20%. So we more than doubled that, and that means people care about your church.
And it's a true testament. I mean, people, an overwhelming thing of, what is this church known for? The overwhelming thing was it's a friendly church, and it is a friendly church, and that is very important to as Pastor Garman said, it was nice when the pandemic was here, we could all be connected and online, but it is a place of fellowship to share in the good news. It's not a by yourself thing, is I guess my point. So continuing on here, today actually we have, speaking of fellowship stuff, we've got the blood drive going on today. So all sorts of stuff. I just wanted to point that out earlier. I missed the opportunity, so I wanted to point that we do have the fellowship.
I think it's just sign up for the blood drive.
Sign up for the blood drive. Yeah,
you got it.
I think there are needles out there. You just no.
They'll get you whichever.
Jean's out there. She's funny that way. I just want to conclude any final thoughts on what we're heading for the next 50 years. This is not just a stop, it's a continuum.
Right. We're all living stones, and we're called to be that, as we heard today. So I would just ask everyone to look in their hearts. How can you serve Christ through La Casa de Cristo and also every day in your life?
Amen and amen. With that, we are going to conclude. Thank you for joining us here today on the Interlude. In the next couple weeks, we are going to do a pastor talk. So I want you to send your questions in, whatever questions you may have of Pastor Jeff, Pastor Matt, who knows who might we have on there. So get your questions ready. Send those to interlude@lacasadecristo.com. Email those in. That's interlude@lacasadecristo.com, and we're going to gather all those questions, and we'll have another. We had one before. It was it's interesting. These are things are just that you wanted to know.
They might ask, like, what color is your favorite tie?
Yeah, exactly. Blue.
Profound theological.
Purple. So with that, like I say, send your questions in. Anything you want to ask the pastors, we'll answer your questions right there live on air with some guest cards, and we'll do that. So 2 weeks from now, we'll see you there. Oh my.
There you go.
It's not over yet. All right. Okay. Here we go. We're welcoming Pastor Garman this morning. Good morning, Pastor Garman. How are you?
I am fine.
So We started with the Jenga this morning.
Yeah, it did better today than they did yesterday.
It did better today than yesterday.
Rumor has it the kid talk was longer than the sermon yesterday.
I don't know who's spreading that rumor, but I heard that too. But it was. It's very effective, though. I mean, if we don't, if we take these things out of our life, things crumble.
Yep. That was the idea, and the kids can get it. It's whether we get it.
Well, lovely sermon today. I liked how you and I was just talking with Pastor Jeff about this, how La Casa de Cristo, from the get-go and beginning, has been a launch pad. And to this day, we are still continuing this. Back then, what were the launching pads that
Well, I think always the whole Palomino area it was very early on for us. The powerful connection that's always been made there has always been a great one for outreach. And it's always comes, I didn't find that. It's amazing that our members have always elevated the needs in the community that we can go out and try and meet. So it's a really a lay-led kind of a.
And I love how you put that, because we're not here just to look at the stained glass. We're not here just to sit here for an hour on Sunday. This is literally a full-on life experience for you, where you should be involved in the church, and it should be.
Well, if you watch Kid Talk today, I baptized the mother of the child that was at Kid Talk.
Now that's incredible.
So we work on it.
We work on it. 50 years.
50 years.
It's an incredible thing. Well, I appreciate you stopping by today. Thank you for your time. And
I always love to do it.
I do. And like I said, we encourage the folks at home to come to church earlier. So I wanted to throw that
job, but
don't do too good of a job. All right. We look forward to the collapsing of the Jenga for the 9:15. If you haven't watched this and you're joining us for 9:15, stay put. We'll see you then. Have a great week. God bless you all.